Good afternoon, hello, my name is Daniel, this is the TriathlonDan YouTube channel. I've been doing this for a few years now, and thanks to you lovely lot for watching, liking, subscribing, commenting, all of those things. This channel is currently on just over 8,000 subscribers and has amassed about 2.5 million views, which is completely bonkers. But in 2024, this channel will be changing. Now I know not many people like change, so I wanted to take this opportunity to talk you through it, to explain to you my thinking, so that hopefully it makes sense. And although there are lots of changes, it's also not big changes. I think the impact will be large, but this will be continuing, just to put that out there from the get-go. So these changes are partly thanks to the partners that I'm going to be working with in 2024. So the Time Recording, NRG Chains, Hoop Design, Outlaw Triathlons, maybe one or two others. It is mostly down to you guys and girls for watching these videos. I know that if it wasn't for you watching these videos, none of those brands would be interested and I wouldn't be able to do what I do with this channel. I never want to lose sight of that, so I'm incredibly grateful. Thank you very much. And it's because of that that I'm really wanting to make these changes to take this channel to the next level, is the plan anyway. So this channel started off as a document of a journey. I was working towards my first Ironman in 2018 Ironman UK, and since then the underlying tone of the channel has still been that journey, and that is something that I really am interested in when I watch other creators. People talk to me about it often, and I'm still on a journey, so that is going to really continue to underpin the channel in terms of the consistent content and why does this channel exist and what is this person working towards. I'm going to try and do the best job I can of documenting this journey, explaining what I'm training for, what I'm working towards in life. Sure, it's still going to be triathlon and bike racing and other things as well, but I'm including things in life as well, like you see various things I do in the house, DIY, some good, some bad, and all those other things. So the journey is going to remain, but with a few additions and a few changes. So in 2023, I invested in a Chris, insert photo of Chris here, Daniel. Chris runs a company called Chris Wilson Visuals, and he does many things, but the things that I employ him to do are to come to races and events and to video me and to work behind the scenes doing some of the editing, doing the thumbnails on this channel. I'm going to be utilizing Chris more in 2024 to take those things to the next level. Now, when I have Chris, the honest feeling in my head is at events, I feel a bit of a douche. I've got somebody following me with a camera, and I'm an age grouper, it doesn't feel right, but I know that the impact of that means that the quality of footage and the content in general is so much better when he is there. So I'm pushed that to one side. I'm going to continue to be doing that with the support of Outlaw events and maybe one or two other event organisers as well. That enables me to do that. So I'm confident that this year, all the events that I do, I'll be able to make great videos from, because I'm going to have this additional support. And that race day content for me for a while has been the main focus of this channel. It's been, I feel like I build up and then crescendo event and then build up, and that is like the content theme. What I want to try and do is always be at that top level. If I'm at an event, this is cool, this is interesting, this is exciting. So what I'm going to be doing is investing some more time, energy and money in Chris and in just going and doing things into the content between those things. So I've got a couple of examples actually. Now this weekend I'm going to record a video with a professional triathlete, and it's one that I really want to do. It's not just because I think the video might do well and I want to go in, I don't know, get some pictures of this person, but it's because I want to do more varied content that I think people, particularly triathletes, will find interesting, other than me just documenting my journey to races and training and those sorts of things. The last 3 or 4 months of me being injured has really opened my eyes to, if I rely too much on that being the focus of the channel, well, if I broke my leg and I was injured for 6 months, what would I do? Like, I need to have other things going off on the channel to be able to focus on, and I want to do those things. So that's one example. The another example is I'm going to Calpe in a few weeks, very lucky to be able to go there, and I'm going to be taking Chris with me, and he's going to be able to help me document what is essentially a training camp, but it's not going to be that sort of vibe. But him coming and being able to video me will enable me to have a great week, and I'm sure he will as well. He'll be able to take on some of the editing perhaps, he'll be out and about when we're out cycling and stuff, and I know that it's going to be a step up significantly in terms of the content I'd normally be able to produce. And going away for like a week with my friends just cycling, like it wouldn't normally be a focus for content. It'd be like, I'm going to this place and I'll take a camera out with me. Whereas now I'm trying to really focus on it and make it as good as it can be, because every trip, every ride, every video in fact is an opportunity, and I'm constantly amazed by what does well and what doesn't do well on YouTube. So I'm trying to have a focus on almost everything, but specifically the things that I'd normally shy away from because of those costs or logistic challenges and things. In and amongst all that content, I want to do a better job of documenting technology, equipment, nutrition, all the things that we as athletes use, but very often we see videos from people talking about those things and they're sponsored. Well, I don't have a bike sponsor, wheel sponsor, nutrition sponsor, so I want to try and do the best job I can of reviewing those things and talking about those things without having my hands tied. So that's something I'm going to be thinking about how I can best do. I did recently try and get together I wanted to test all the different types of carb mix, but by the time I try and source them all, it ended up being horrendously expensive, and I don't actually need all these different types of carb mix, so it wouldn't have made sense. And I tried to buy it all through a website that, you know, compiles them all together. It just didn't work. So, but that sort of thing is the way I'm thinking at the minute. So more of those types of videos which have the potential to reach a wide audience, but also might be useful for people in the sport of triathlon. Now, and again, thanks to you guys and girls, because of where the channel is at in terms of the size and the structure and the general vibe, there's also the opportunity for me to not do things. Like, I don't have to do anything. None of my partnership agreements, I'm not obliged to do like a single thing really. So I don't have to post about, I don't know, a wetsuit on a Tuesday or a chain on a Friday. It's all about me just doing what I'm doing with the assistance of some brands, which is so cool. And that means that I don't have to take, I don't know, like one-off deals to read you an advert from a piece of paper for 30 seconds and then continue in the normal video. I'm not saying I'm never going to do those things, and I'm not hating on people who do that, but the specific situation that I'm in with this channel right now means that I don't have to. So therefore, if I don't have to, I'm not going to, unless it adds specific value to you as a viewer, or it's such a horrendous amount of money to me that I know that I could do so much more with the channel with it. And I know you lot would understand that, or I hope that you would. But I'm hopefully going to, stick to that promise and not do anything that I don't have to. That also stands true for like posting frequency. I'm not going to be stressing out as much this year about posting every single day. I still intend to, but I know that there are peaks and troughs in the year, and life happens and training happens, all those things. I'm not just going to throw a video together and put it out just so there's a video. I'm going to take a bit more time to think about, am I actually happy with this content to put it out there? I'm still fairly sure I'll be doing north of 300 videos, so the majority of the days there will be, but that's just my way of thinking at the minute. At the time of recording, I'm about 10 days ahead, so there's no danger of that happening anytime soon, but just an FYI, don't send out the search party if there's not a video at 1 o'clock, because there probably will be. Now, the final change, and in true YouTuber fashion, I have left the biggest one until the end, is this channel name. Now, although I'm saying this is a change, I don't have what the change is yet. YouTube is like this, and then sport on YouTube is like this. Triathlon on YouTube is like this. And the name TriathlonDan, I think in some situations, does hold me back. I don't know as if it actually affects the reach of videos, but I think it might affect when I talk to people or when people view the channel. I don't really know. Like, if you're a cyclist and I put a video up where I'm cycling in the Peak District and you see it's TriathlonDan, are you less or more likely to subscribe? I don't know. But what I'm also thinking is, with me doing a bit more of a variety of content this year, does the word TriathlonDan, does that actually describe what the channel is about? As I say, I genuinely don't have a new name. I quite like the idea of having something that isn't just my name, because if I'm thinking really long term, well, the content can't always be about me, because I might not always be doing triathlon. I might not always want to be on YouTube. If I look at people like Francis Cade, he grew his channel massively, and then it was a year or so ago, he rebranded to Cade Media, and he has some other people now working with him on the channel. It's not quite like GCN-esque, but you can definitely tell that the channel's taken a different direction. He's not vlogging anymore. They're doing videos about cycling, and clearly it's a success. And I'm not saying that I'm going to copy that and that's what I want to do, because I don't think that it is, but I do know that just focusing on the triathlon niche of YouTube is a limiting factor, when actually I do running, I do cycling, and I do swimming. And in those worlds on YouTube, they're so much bigger. So I just can't understand how I can, I'm phrasing this right, I can't understand why triathletes and triathlon YouTubers can't access those different groups. And maybe it starts with the brand. If we look at people like Lucy Charles, Barkley, and Lionel Sanders, and That Triathlon Life, and all the big channels, they're like the gold standard. They're like, if you're in the triathlon YouTube world, like, you're probably not going to be able to grow bigger than them. So I'm like, okay, if you look at those and the numbers they do and so on, realistically, where's my top level as a like mid-pack age grouper? Maybe half of that. Whereas if you look at like the swimming world and the cycling world, there's massive channels. So I'm thinking about that currently. Feel free to let me know your suggestions. Critty Dan is a current working theory. It's not going to be that, but you get the idea. I'm going for something different. Maybe at some point this year. Maybe I still won't have thought of anything. And that is about it. I've got some mega cool like announcements for what I'm going to be doing this year. I haven't released what races I'm going to be at yet. I haven't said what like trips I'm going to go on yet, and that's for good reason, because it's not really all planned, but it will be in the next couple of weeks. Shaking off these injuries, getting back to training, and looking forward to a cracking 2024. I hope you are as well. Thank you very much for the ongoing support. I really, really appreciate it. Sometimes people ask me how they can support this channel. I do have a Patreon down below where I release videos earlier than they go out on this channel. I always release all content on this channel eventually. The only benefit I give to Patreons is that they get early access, so I'm never going to keep anything behind a paywall. But other than that, just watching this video is the support enough, so thank you very much, and I'll see you tomorrow at 1 o'clock.